Good morning, you guys. Hopefully you guys had a great Labor Day weekend. My name is Snejana. Welcome to Snejana's Life. I tried to record yesterday, but it was not successful because I have two small kids with me. And every time I try to record, they would always come up and need something. And I think if you guys have kids, you could totally relate. But I'm trying to do a quick one before they get up, ready for school. And we gotta get out the door. So without further ado, this is from Dr. Insanity. A female cop gets busted for seducing inmates. This is going to be interesting, so let's go ahead and see what happens, shall we?
This is Charlene O'Banion, a prison officer being accused of sleeping with an inmate.
You felt me, I was like soaking through my clothes.
After hearing rumors from other officers that had seen her and Jason Parker together, an investigation was opened up. Charlene thinks she flew under the radar and got away, but what she doesn't know is that the detectives have all the evidence they need, and they're about to expose and embarrass her in the most brutal way possible.
You got a lot of that head game. Oh my God.
Right from the start, Charlene plays innocent and pretends she doesn't know anything about the allegations.
We're notified of a possible improper relationship between you and Jacob Parker. So we're here for that, and I just kind of want to talk to you about it and get your side of that story.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay. Have you talked?
Okay, first of all, you can clearly tell she's lying, right? She's super stiff. She is a CEO, so she knows, most of the time when people are lying, well, you at least suspect, right? She's super stiff. She's trying to play it cool. She doesn't have her arms crossed or her legs from the looks. Oh, except for her legs, yep. But she's super stiff, and her facial expression, she just seems really tense, right? That is never a good sign, so I don't know.
Talk to him on any jail phone calls or anything like that?
No.
Not at all.
Charlene is sure that this will work, but the detectives have much more evidence than they're letting.
Win this 2023 Hydro Blue Jeep Gladiator Rubicon and $50,000 in cash
on.
And where would you think that this allegation would come from if there's nothing to it?
Well, I had a feeling this was coming. So there was an inmate named Coker, Justin Coker.
Okay.
He got out of here for I don't know what period of time, and he tried to contact me on Facebook. He sent me a message, and I blocked him on Facebook. And I guess one time Parker was going back to Pequot to use the bathroom, and he was talking like at the window with me. Mm-hmm. And I guess Coker didn't like that, which I had no contact with him or anything. And Parker had told me that he had gone up to him and was like, "Don't talk to her," or something crazy like that.
So I'm just not trying to be rude here. I'm just.
Yeah.
Why would you expect this conversation to come up from that? Like now, if that happened a few months ago.
Charlene claims that the only time she's had contact with Jason was a single time outside the jail bathroom, and it was a jealous inmate that started the rumor. But the detective is about to share some evidence that instantly proves that Charlene is hiding something.
I don't know exactly how it started, like who it started from, but I was told that it was brought to somebody's attention, and then we looked at jail calls, and there's jail calls between you and Parker.
Alright, you guys, if you are in jail or prison, you should know that you're gonna get tapped, as they say, right? So you're gonna have your phone calls listened to at all times. You have to. It's prison, If they want information from someone,
all that stuff's recorded.
If they want information from someone, all they have to do is just listen to your phone call. How would this chick not realize that someone is always going to be around to where they can hear something, see something, and they're going to definitely say something, especially if they can try to get their time reduced, right? And if the detectives think that it's a reliable source, then they will definitely look up the call records, and then bam. This chick actually is going to try to see if she can get away with this? Come on. It's kind of hard to deny your own voice, right? Especially if they pull it up. I don't know. Come on.
So I don't think you're being completely truthful. Well, I kind of know that you're not. And I'm not trying to be rude when I say that.
Yeah, no.
I'm just kind of trying to lay it out on.
That's a really nice cop, though. I do have to admit, that cop or that detective, he's really nice. So you can tell that, you know, he's also uncomfortable in this situation, and he's trying the best he can to expose her, you know, and not be rude, as he keeps saying. And I don't know, I like the way he does it, so that's just my opinion.
On the table for you. So, can you kind of tell me what's going on here?
I guess a few years ago, we talked, and then I ended up here, and then he ended up here. I didn't know he was here. It wasn't anything like that.
Apparently, Charlene and Jason knew each other before prison and messed around before they both ended up here. This led to them joking around with each other here, but nothing else. Or at least, that's what she claims. In reality, the cops have recorded phone calls from inside the prison that tell a completely different story.
So what about some of these phone conversations?
No, not here or the phone. I
just mean conversations y'all are having on the phone.
No.
Since he's been in here.
Like sexual?
Well, I'm not saying having phone sex, talking about sexual acts. From what I'm listening to on the calls, I take it as that you've given him oral sex at some point, is what I gather from these calls.
No, that was like in the world, but we never like.
Oh my God, girl, just say you did it. Like, get it over with. Like, stop him before it gets worse, right? 'Cause they have something on you. They're going to play it. And then the whole world is going to see it. Or am I right? Like, just stop while you're ahead.
We never dated. We just...
Okay. What kind of conversations have you had with him since you started working here and he's been in the jail?
Just talking about what would happen after he got out.
And then the jail call recordings, have you been talking to him like while you're at home? Like he calls you from the jail while you're at home, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just 15 minutes into this interrogation, Charlene's original story is seeming less and less like the truth. She's been caught in multiple lies, admitted to having sexual relations with Jason in the past, and calling him regularly from her own home. This is highly irregular.
Okay, last time I checked, I think it's like illegal for you to have any type of relations. Like if you're a CEO, it's for your safety. It's for the inmate safety, and I think it's just all around, just everyone's safety, right? As a CEO, like, what makes you think you're gonna get away with something like this? I know people have tried in the past, but come on, it's 2023. Like, you have technology everywhere, you have people everywhere. Like, you're gonna get caught. Like, when it comes down to it, good luck.
Behavior for a prison officer, and it doesn't take a genius to realize something deeper may be going on. But the detective has some more questions pertaining to some more physical evidence.
I haven't listened to this, but apparently there may be some talk in the calls about like photographs. Have you given him any photographs?
Mm-mm. I gave him a photograph of his mom, which he had asked for, and of his dog, Jax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you given him any photographs of you?
Mm-mm. No, because...
So one of the things we're going to be doing is...
Oh my God, you guys, her face just says it all. Like, it's so tense, and she's just trying to play so cool, but you can tell that she's lying. Oh.
Just like looking at cameras and stuff too. Has there been any times where y'all were alone?
Mm-mm.
Or you go out of camera view or anything like that? Anything that's going to look suspicious that way?
I don't think so.
It's important to remember that Charlene has worked at this prison for a while now, and as such will know all the ins and outs of everything such as security camera blind spots and patrol officer schedules. You'd think that with all this knowledge, it'd be easy to hide a relationship with an inmate, but it seems that she forgot about a few vital pieces of information. Not least the facts that all phone calls placed from the prison are recorded. But thanks to the detectives, she's about to be reminded of this fact in a devastating way.
Oh,
Hey,
here it comes,
baby.
guys.
Go back.
Baby, guess what?
What, babe?
I just won the blackjack game.
I love that. What, babe?
Yay.
I just won $30.
I got a lot of stuff to clean and get rid of before you come home. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
She's not
I'm
kidding.
just fucking you. I was trying to make you think I have all these secret things.
Yeah, I bet you do.
What?
What?
What? What do you mean?
I don't know. You probably got this weird sex swing
Like, why would she say that? Like, I don't know.
hanging from the ceiling. Kenneth probably thinks it's a swing set.
Oh, if I had that sex swing, you better believe I'd leave that sucker up for you.
Would you really?
Hell yeah.
You're not.
Is that a wedding ring, you guys? Is she married? Do you see that? That's a ring, right? Please comment below if you see that. That's a ring, right? So she's married on top of all of this?
They put you in it
Yeah.
with a gag ball and everything.
Yeah, babe.
Listening to your own voice can be bad enough for some people.
Oh my god, you guys, she does have a ring. That's the side. I mean, she's married technically, right? Because that's the left hand side where if you wear a ring, like you're married. Because I would know, I'm married. Oops, I'm married. So, if she's like legit married, like that's even worse. Like that is so embarrassing for her significant other. You know, if I was her significant other, like I would be so pissed, like outrageously pissed. And I would have every right to be pissed. Like, this chick, man, that is so not cool. Not worth it. Like, you threw your life away for that guy? Like, come on.
But listening to your own sexual phone calls in silence with two detectives in the room as you realize you've just been caught red-handed has got to be worse than any prison sentence there is. However, with the language they've used so far, there's no evidence that the pair have actually engaged in any sexual acts. But that changes quickly as Jason begins to directly incriminate Charlene on the call.
I just want you to look at me sometimes and be like, damn, my woman's fine.
Fine as wine.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a live ass fucking head game. Oh my god.
Okay, as a female, you want your guy, like, I would want my guy to always think I'm fine, right? And I know a lot of other females feel the same way. But don't send your prisoner a picture of you naked or in underwear, lingerie, or whatever it is. Do not send them a picture like that. Come on. Like, you know that it's going to get caught somehow. You're going to get caught and it's going to get around. And then you're going to end up looking like a fool in the end. Which obviously this person is going to. So, joke's on her, unfortunately. But you don't do that. Come on. Hasn't she learned from, like, over the years? Like, don't they teach this kind of stuff in the CEO classes? Like, honestly.
It wasn't my best moments. I was just trying to get it done.
Are you in bed?
Don't even get me thinking about that because it makes me so horny. Like, just going back and thinking about that.
It gets you horny?
Oh, yeah. You felt me. I was, like, soaking through my clothes. Get very horny very easy. I always want to have sex.
Good.
Like, that's not even...
Not good.
I mean, it's not like I just, like, look at someone, I'm like, oh, my God, I'm so fucking horny. No, like, of course, like,
She's
I only get
busting
horny
ads,
for
look at that.
you.
You can't see how that sounds from like my point of view. Like a more recent thing than 3 years ago. No?
The audacity she has to say no after hearing that phone call is truly remarkable. But to her credit, she's not going down easily. The detectives try asking her if she thinks Jason would cover for her, and she still doesn't break, sticking to her story that everything that happened outside of prison.
Oh my
Technically, this story could still be true with this phone call, but it definitely is odd for the couple to be recounting events from over 3 years.
That would be so odd. Like, what the hell? Who would do that? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I guess if you're in prison and you're, like, I don't want to say desperate or anything, but maybe. But this was obviously way, like, this was, like, not that long ago. Like, 3 years ago? No. Come on. They have that information in the phone logs. They probably have it dated. They have a timestamp. Like, they have everything. Like, just stop while you're ahead. Please, just, this is only getting worse for you.
Years ago in such detail, especially when earlier she struggled to remember any details about their relationship.
You talk about how profound this was. like just giving him this blowjob was, but you like don't remember anything about it. It's like telling me something, but you're having trouble coming up with details about it. You know what I mean? Like if it's that profound.
I mean, I gave him a blowjob. How do you describe the blowjob? I mean, is that
well,
what
I'm
you
not
want
want to know like about the blowjob. I'm just so if this is a factual thing that happened 3 years ago, I feel like you would kind of remember some stuff about it. Like I feel
I mean, like we said in the car, Like
when I asked you who was there, him of course, like when y'all met or whatever, and then when I asked like who else, you said it was like a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
But like you can remember one chick's name after you think about it for 30 seconds. So that's not making sense to me.
You seem to have blanks in your memory when we get to certain details, but you remember being groped in the blowjob from 3 years ago. I find that hard to believe. Okay? This is your one chance to be honest with us. Yes. Once we get up and walk out and we're done, we're done. Have y'all had any inappropriate contact, whether it's groping, blowjobs, vaginal, anal sex, anything, hand jobs? Yes, I am being vulgar to get a point across.
Yeah, no, it's not. None of that.
Just as the detectives say, things really aren't adding up. Yet she's still sticking to her story. Or at least she was, before a switch flipped and she said this.
I mean, what is it?
I might have given him a blowjob in the back part of the
In the back part of the quad?
Finally.
How long ago was that?
I don't know, a few months ago.
The secret's out, and Charlene has confessed. But this matter is more complex than it may seem. In cases of officer-inmate relations, the main question that arises is the issue of consent. Given that Jason and Charlene knew each other prior to being in prison, it's not wrong to assume that consent went both ways in this interaction. However, in these cases, that's actually completely irrelevant. According to a 2005 report, federal law criminalizes all sexual relations and contact between prison staff and inmates, and that all sexual relations between staff and inmates are considered abuse, even if the act would have been considered consensual if it occurred outside of a prison. This is because of the huge amount of inmate abuse that was observed in prisons. In 1996,
that is so sad. The fact that they had to ban it like 100%, like because they were abused. They were so abused back in the day. Like that is horrible. That is not okay at all. Like I don't know. I just don't agree with that. You know.
It was estimated that between 12 and 14% of all prison inmates had been sexually assaulted, and the officers were rarely punished. So to prevent this, a zero-tolerance policy was introduced to try and prevent abuse.
Yeah, wait, that is not okay. You know, especially, I mean, for both genders, male and female, right? You can be sexually exploiting them, you know? I think certain people, instead of doing that, I think, you know, when prison inmates go after the certain people, like, okay, that I understand, because there's a special place in hell for people like that, 100%. But everyone else, like, I don't know. It's a tough thing, you know. Like, I don't know. I don't agree with it though. That's for sure. Like, everyone has a right to feel safe, even though they didn't do it. They did the opposite to their victims. I don't know. It's a really tough situation, right? Like, I don't agree with what happened when they landed there, like the circumstances surrounding their situation. But at the same time, like, you know what? When it comes down to it, people are just nasty sometimes. People can be bitches. They can be horrible. They just don't give a flying fuck about anything, right? So I think, I don't know. What comes around goes around. That's my opinion.
Towards inmates, a policy, it seems, that Charlene completely ignored.
I'm gonna ask, but I feel like I know the answer. I'm losing my job.
So
what comes around goes around. You fuck around, and you lose your shits.
That's not really up to me. Internal Affairs is aware. Investigation is separate from ours because it's two totally different.
The detectives are just happy that they were able to get her to confess. You know what I mean? Like, they'll use tactics that, I mean, that's a pretty legit tactic, though. You know what I mean? Sometimes they'll have stuff, they won't have certain stuff, and they'll say, we have this, or we have so and so, but they really don't, right? But this is, you can't run away from this. Like, of course you're gonna lose your job. Come on, what are you thinking?
Things. So.
Yeah. What kind of charges?
And if she's married, guess what? The ring is gonna go bye-bye. Like, nope.
Like.
So it's illegal to have sexual contact with an inmate as an employee. So I said the ball kind of be in their court, but I'll let you know as soon as I hear something.
I mean, should I go to jail?
That's up to the DA's office.
Yes.
As it turns out, Charlene would lose her job, and the only time she'd ever be allowed back in jail would be for the 100 days that she'd be made to serve after being found guilty of sexual activity with a person in custody.
Good, you guys. I am so happy to hear that. Like I said, what comes around goes around. You know what I mean? You fuck around and you lose your stuff, right? This whole situation is just crazy. Like, the fact that it's 2023 and people are still trying to do this, like, still getting away with stuff like this, like, why? Is it worth it? Is it worth losing everything in your whole entire life for that 1 second of gratification? Because when it comes down to it, right, like, it's gonna take, what, 30 minutes for a quickie, and then the rest of your life could be just permanently just damaged. Not worth it. At least not in my opinion. I'm really curious to see what your guys' thoughts are about this. Please comment below. And like I said, I hope you guys had a great Labor Day weekend. I gotta go get my kids up for school. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.